Hi and welcome to this video on fraud. But before diving deep into our video today, just make sure to subscribe to our channel so you will get notified with all new videos. What is fraud? Fraud is a term used to describe a wide range of illegal activities that involve deception or dishonesty, with the intention of obtaining something of value. This can be money, goods, or services, and it can be done by individuals, organizations, or even governments. There are many different types of fraud, but some common ones include financial fraud. This involves the manipulation of financial transactions or records in order to gain an unfair advantage or profit. Examples include embezzlement, insider trading, and identity theft. Consumer fraud. This type of fraud involves the sale of goods or services that are defective, misrepresented, or not delivered as promised. Investment fraud. This occurs when individuals or companies deceive investors in order to obtain their money or securities. Examples include Ponzi schemes and stock fraud. Charity fraud. This involves the misuse of charitable donations for personal gain, or the creation of fake charities to collect money from unsuspecting donors. Healthcare fraud. This involves the submission of false or inflated claims to insurance companies in order to receive payment for services that were not actually provided. Internet fraud. This is a broad category that includes any type of fraud that is committed using the internet, such as phishing scams, auction fraud, and online banking fraud. Insider trading fraud. This type of fraud involves the use of confidential or non-public information for financial gain. It is illegal for insiders, such as company executives or employees, to use this information to make trades on the stock market. Intellectual property fraud. This type of fraud involves the unauthorized use of patented, trademark, or copyrighted materials for financial gain. Examples include selling counterfeit goods and using someone else's ideas or inventions without permission. Now that we have an understanding of what fraud is and some examples, let's talk about how companies can protect themselves and their customers from falling victim to fraud. One way is through the implementation of strong internal controls, such as separating financial duties among different employees and regularly reviewing financial records. Companies can also invest in fraud detection and prevention software and train employees on how to recognize and report fraudulent activity. In addition, companies should establish clear policies and procedures for handling and reporting suspected fraud, and to make sure that all employees are aware of these policies. It's also important for companies to be transparent and open with their customers, and to establish a culture of trust and integrity. This can help to build customer loyalty and reduce the risk of fraud. Now let's look at a couple of real-life examples of fraud and how the company dealt with it. Example 1. In 2018, a massive data breach at hotel chain Marriott International exposed the personal information of up to 500 million guests. The breach was caused by hackers who had gained access to the company's reservation system and had been collecting data for years. To address the issue, Marriott set up a dedicated website and call center for affected customers and offered them free identity monitoring services. The company also implemented additional security measures and launched an investigation to determine the cause of the breach. Example 2. In 2019, it was discovered that a number of employees at Wells Fargo, one of the largest banks in the U.S., had opened fake accounts in the names of real customers without their knowledge or consent. The employees did this in order to meet sales targets and receive bonuses. To address the issue, Wells Fargo fired the employees involved and implemented new training and oversight measures to prevent future instances of fraud. The bank also paid millions of dollars in fines and compensation to affected customers. In conclusion, fraud is a serious problem that can have significant financial and reputational consequences for companies. By implementing strong internal controls and establishing a culture of trust and transparency, companies can protect themselves and their customers from falling victim to fraud. Thanks for watching and hope that you got a good understanding for fraud and fraud means.